What's going on, guys? Terrence. Welcome to the channel. Today I just wanted to go over real quick, I guess this afternoon, and try to get it in but an hour, more than an hour before game time tonight. And actually I'll make another video on my scouting report. So Steph, you and the staff are going to have to wait. You know what I mean? And that'll just be whenever I get around to it. Alright, if I'm going to keep giving you the damn game plans for winning, you're on my time. I'm not on your time. But on a different note, right? There was a young lady, I believe it is at, let me think, at, just your average sports fan or something similar. I'm going to tag her though on the video. I won't waste too much time on it, but I will tell you that, so this video is for her. Anybody else that wants to know, right, that as far as the games, you know, why, you know, a shooter's hot and they take them out, things of that nature, right? Specifically, I think her question was, you know, now, just take with a grain of salt, right? Because nobody fuck knows what Stephanie White's doing. Do know she did take my advice and gave the clipboard for the offense to Austin Kelly, so she's not calling the offensive plays anymore. That's been since their 5-game win streak. Steph doesn't call the offensive plays. It shouldn't have anything to do with it. But if you watch them really, you know, all they're doing, and this is, you know, obviously the players, you know, have to execute. And, you know, based on the availability of players that they have, you know, they have to, I don't want to say dumb down, but I mean, just keep it real, right? So, you know, back to elementary school days and number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Everything is so predictable. You know, what the other coaches are doing, I have no idea. Because, you know, you can see it coming from, you know, 2 quarters away. You know, you can see what's going to happen in the third and the first quarter. But basically, right, and like I said I was going to keep the video short, is, and what I just said was if a coach is worth his shit. So that's how you can always tell if a coach is worth the shit. If they are able to make, you know, swift adjustments, quick timeout, make the adjustment, or if they wait till the end of the quarter, end of a half. You know, some things can wait. Some things are like right now, we stopped. we have to, you know, it's not going to work. You know, it's just been fortunate for us that we have been able to keep other teams off the glass, and against Seattle was, you know, one of the first times, or a few games that we were able to get multiple second chance opportunities. Had been for that, and we were out rebounded for the game, I think by 5. You know, there again, fortunately, they shot 13%. So if you thought Kelsey Mitchell's 3-point shooting was bad for the game, they shot 13% as a team from the 3-point line. Now we only shot 18, almost 19%, so we didn't shoot that great either from 3. But to the note on why, all right, coaches, players, you know, whatever the case may be, in this particular situation, it was the Fever coaching staff was looking at player matchups, and they had one in particular that they thought worked out better for them. All right, it didn't. They should have fixed it. May have been too little too late, I don't know. But if you notice, when Gabby Williams would go out is when they would sub Sophie. So I was going to end it on the other note, but I failed to mention there were a few different things that would happen that would cause them to take Sophie out of the game. Because if you rewatch highlights or whatever the case may be, on YouTube or whatever, if you've got a way to, replay the game. But looking back at the film, I can see obviously that anytime they went with two bigs, they would also take Sophie out. And that's what they did late in the game. They went with NECA and the 19-year-old that was balling out. That makes me wonder why, because Noelle Quinn is a good coach. And, it's almost like she knew better, but, she let her sit, a little too long. She was having a heck of a game. But yeah, so in the Storm Fever, I mean, all I can, if I was going to include my post-game reaction and analysis to it, is, golly, I'm done with the phrase "a win's a win," because a win ain't always a win. Like say it's every team's going to have good shooting nights and bad shooting nights, and they're going to play teams that they match up well against. They're going to play against teams they don't, and they're also going to play against teams whose coaches are just that much better, and they're not going to be in the game at all. When we're playing without CC, that is. Because they need time to think about it. If the original game plan or plan B or plan C aren't working, they don't, it's like thinking outside the box. They don't have a box to think outside of. I don't know why. They're supposed to be coaching at the professional level. That's just high as it gets, last I checked. And but we can do no better than that. I mean, come on. There's no guys on the NBA side, coaching wise, that don't have a job at the moment. They didn't necessarily say they wouldn't coach in the WNBA. So you got Tom Thibodeau, you got Mark Jackson, there's a lot of good ones out there. You don't just have to look at WNBA former coaches, things like that.